Hi, this is Stephen Festuca at Creative Web Designs. Today we're going to work quickly. I want to do a demo video that describes how to format articles correctly for web. It's just not the same as using a word processor such as Microsoft Word. If you try to take that content and put it onto your website, it's just not going to look right. And in order to have a nice website and be respected, you really have to pay attention to your formatting so that all your pages look the same. Alright, so we're going to work quickly though. So first thing I want to do is create an article and a menu link for this site. We're going to do a test article. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the back end. This is Joomla. And the first thing I have to do, say a client just sent me an article. And actually they did. You see it right here. This was sent to me. I need to post it on the website. First thing I need to do is go in Article Manager. First I have to create the article, and then I want to create the menu item after that. So we're going to call this test article. That's all I have to put in is the title. The alias fills in. The category you may have to put in if it's for your blog or whatever, but this will be uncategorized article. We'll call on it from the menu. We don't have to touch any of these things here. I have to have some text in there. I'll say test, otherwise it won't save. I'm going to save and close. I'm going to go over to menus, to the menu manager. Okay, now I only have one menu on the site. It's my main menu at this point. And I had to create the article first because what we're going to do here is say new menu item. Again, this is our main menu right up here. I need to be able to find the article, and I have to have a link. That's what we're creating right now. And I say menu title test item. Okay. And I already formatted this article once today, so that's why I'm putting it as test. Menu item type will be the next type thing we put in. We're going to go up to here, and usually it's a single article. If you're having a menu item to something, it's not on a blog page or something like that. Single article. And the reason we had to create the article first was so that we can go in and now select which article for that to link to, and it's our test article. I'm going to say that's all I have to do there, nothing else. Save and close. It's going to mess up my menu for now, but I don't care. It's going to double it down onto the next line. Okay, there's our test item. There, now you know how to add a page. Test article. Okay, there's our text test. Now you know how to add an article to your Joomla website. Very easy once it's all configured, set up for you. Let me see. Okay, that's 3 minutes. We only get 15 minutes, so I'm going to fly through this. Okay, so one of my partners just sent me this article here, and once it posted to the website, well, I look at this and I say, oh god, what a mess this is, right? I don't know if you can see, there's black font here, you got this highlighting in here, which I really don't like on the web. You have double spaces after periods, all the paragraphs are messed up, and the picture's just up there floating in outer space. So we have to do some magic with this article. The first thing I always do, take it, highlight it, copy it, paste it into Microsoft Notepad. Actually, I'm going to say File, New, cancel. I want to save that, that's all. Notepad, open it again. Okay, I'm going to paste it into Notepad. Boom, looks totally different than what we had there. And I already have the picture on the server, so I don't need that picture. Otherwise, I probably have to grab it from the web. I don't know if I could save it from Word. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is, this is on the web, you only use one space after periods. You see this? There's two spaces in here. That just, actually, I think there's three. That shows, there's two. That shows you're unprofessional. You don't know what you're doing if you're using two spaces after periods. So the first thing I'm going to do, highlight all this, go into edit, replace. I'm going to say find period space space and replace that with period space. Replace all. Yes. Okay. Now that fixed most of them for me. You know, I'm not going to trust it all the time. So now I have to look at this and I have to make sense of this because all the returns are messed up. Well, I think this is the end of the line. What I'm going to do, go to the beginning of this line, I'm going to back it up. You must back it all the way back up to the period. See if I see that space in there? If I wouldn't have brought it all the way back up, that space would remain. It'll mess up your pages at some point. And I hit enter twice. And I'm going to go down here. I'm going to pull this all the way back up to boom, take out that space. Now enter, enter. I'm going to go here, bring it all the way, pull out that space, boom, boom. There's all these little things hiding that you don't see that we got to get rid of. I'm going to go down to this line here, I believe it is. And I say boom, boom, boom. 2 enters. Boom, boom. This paragraph's a little messed up because we have these links here that we don't have the links yet. So good. I took out all the double spaces. I fixed. See, if we don't put those enters in there manually, there's all kinds of coding going on. What I did was I took out the code. I took out all the formatting. I stripped this thing bare, just down to bare text, and I put the enters or returns. I guess they're called enters now. I don't know. Yeah, they're called enters, but hard returns. Good, we're looking good here. I can't spell check in here. That's all I can do. I just got my spacing correctly, basically, and took out all the old formatting. Okay, 6 minutes down, and now I go into my articles, to Content Article Manager. Just take a look at all of our articles, and that was called Test Article. I find the article here. Take this out. Sometimes, see the show hide? Well, this is your WYSIWYG editor. I'm going to hide the WYSIWYG editor. I see there's no code in there because what the WYSIWYG editor is doing is converting, whatever I put in here into HTML. So make sure there's no HTML hiding in there. I'm going to hit Control V. Boom. Post that in there. Now it looks pretty good. I'm looking at the spacing here. Okay, that's fine. Now what you want to do is add back in your formatting. So we can go ahead and do things like, here's a quote. I like to put quotes in italics and learn what, you have to learn what all these different things are up here. I can go in and make things bold. So I think in the article I did, I made this bold. But don't overdo your formatting. I don't like highlights on web pages. You can use bold. Sometimes I can go in and this is a quote. I might say make this font size 14. Yeah, but I shouldn't have done that actually yet because I'm going to go, I forgot to set my font size. The only thing that's not default is your font size. So I highlighted it all, made it all font size 12. Always do that. I use 12. Some people use 10. I like 12 for older clients. It's a little larger font. Also depends on the font that you're using. So I had to go back and make this 14. So again, a review. Take your article, put it in a notepad, pop it into to your WYSIWYG editor, and then you start to format it. First thing you should do, highlight everything. It's only going to format what you have highlighted. Make it font size 12. Go in, make your other adjustments. Let's take a look. Now I'm going to hit save because it's going to keep this open, not save and close, right? Because we want to come back to this, and I have to reload my page. And there it is. Title is test article, and there's the quote that I put in. There's my bold. Everything is spaced properly. There's all the double spaces are taken out after periods. Everything looks really nice. Now we want to jazz it up with an image. I have a special tutorial just on images, but basically I'm going to click on the second line here. I'd like to put them in the second line. Well, I think on this one I'll do it at the top, but top, whatever. If you want to embed it inside your article, kind of wrap it in there. I'm going to go down here to, here's an image manager and here's an image manager. They're basically the same thing. One is the advanced, and not everybody has that. If you need it, ask me. I have it. So I already uploaded this image. Again, it's in the other tutorial. I'm going to click on Brad. There's Brad there. And I don't like that. I'm going to set it to 150 wide. I'm going to let it default to the correct height because I kept it proportional. Alignment, left, margin. Click this off. Just on the right, I want 8 pixels of margin. I don't want my text butted up against my image, which is also says screams unprofessional. Border, I like borders on images. I'm going to put a 2 pixel style. I'm going to make outset. That's just what I like. Experiment with what you like. I'm going to make the border 3333333, which is gray. It's not black. And I'm going to insert it. Boom. There it is. See the outset. It kind of makes it look like a picture frame. Kind of cool. Let's save it. There it is. His image looks perfect. The text doesn't butt up against it. Everything is aligned properly. And that's all we had to do. Let's go over a couple other things. If we wanted to center something, some text, well, this quote would be good to center. So I have to highlight the area I want centered, and I go in and I hit the center button up here. Now, for some reason, people are tempted to go in and go space, 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 space. I don't know why it's not even taking the space. Oh, there it is. It's messy. And space things over. Don't ever space things over. Use your WYSIWYG editor to do that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to center it. But yeah, we'll keep it centered. What else is on here you might need to know? Sometimes you need to remove your formatting. Say that I took this and I highlighted yellow. Wow, that's going to look really bad on our page. So I say, well, how do I get rid of that? This eraser here is great. It removes all formatting. So I'll just do that real quick. Boom. It removed the formatting, but now, guess what? It took away the size too, because the size is part of the formatting. So set it back to font size 12. You got your spell checker on there. And I'm looking through. And it kind of underlines them here. So good. No spell checking problems. I don't use any of these buttons. If you want to really format an article like a chart or something like that, you got to use tables and cells. I have a tutorial on that. Yeah, but okay, here's the big thing. Take out your 2 spaces after periods. Make sure you're popping in a notepad and removing all that formatting code from Microsoft Word. It's not HTML. And then put it in here, reformat your article. Use these, center, right align buttons and things like that for proper spacing. That's the basis of it. I think there was one more thing. Oh, bullets. Bullets can kind of be a pain in the butt. If you want to do bullets, I just typed in bullets and I hit enter. I'm going to say bullet 1, LAT 2, and see how that's bold. I'm going to turn off the bold. Just click it off. That should have unbolded them. Okay, there we go. And I go up here and I'm going to, now this is an ordered list, 1, 2, 3, and here's my bullets. And I'll take the default bullet type. Let's see if it did it. Yes, it did it. But it bulleted all 3. Now what do? Well, if I start backspacing and stuff like that, it's not going to work. Always turn off your bullets. Just deselect the bullets. And what I meant to do was bullet 1, bullet 2, and not the top item. And let's see if that works. Boom. There it is. Bullets can be tough. Depending, code gets all trapped up in there, and it can be a challenge. Trust me. Let's see if I turn that off. Sometimes I'll have to go back, and there's something called Shift Enter. Boom. Now instead of hitting Enter, I'm going to hit Shift Enter.